What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this particular video. And for this particular video, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on Survivor Season 47 so far. I know I haven't been doing an episode by episode review of it, and that's because it's been a little bit frustrating for me. And this is a feeling that I get every time Survivor comes around, because the person that I feel as is a deserving winner almost never wins. Now, I will say though that there have been some Survivor winners that I've agreed with. The most recent one was Yam Yam from season 45 or 46. I think it was no, it wasn't 46. So season 45 or 44. I think it was 44. Anyways, I loved the fact that Yam Yam won. I think my favorite Survivor winner of all times was Jeremy from season, I think it was 31. The second chance season. I thought that he played the perfect game. But this season has been extremely frustrating for me. Of course, the first couple of weeks are okay, but when we get down to the merge and when we get down to the nitty and the gritty, that's when things start to fall apart, at least in my opinion. I will say in this video, I probably won't be talking much about Caroline because Caroline is kind of a non-factor. But I'll touch on some of the other contestants, and I may miss some as well. T is not much of a factor to me either. I think she's a great number, but I don't understand the decisions that she's making. I will say though that as far as a winner, as right now, I feel like Gabe is the most deserving winner right now. As far as who is there now. Now the other people that I am rooting for, I'm rooting for Kyle. I love the fact that he's been winning all of these immunities. He won the first 3 immunity challenges. He lost the most recent one to Gabe. And so I like that about Kyle. He's not really necessarily a strategic player, which is my main issue for Survivor now, is that there are hardly any strategic players out there. Everyone is just a number. Just use me as a number. I'm here for a number. I'm not here to make any waves. I'm not here to make any big moves. I'm not here to make any strategic decisions. Just use me as a number so that I can get to the end, so that I can have a chance at the $1 million. But Gabe is actually running the show. And I love that about Gabe. Now, the one thing that I cannot stand is that Gabe number one seems to be Sue. And to be honest, in the first episode, I was rooting for Sue. I have this thing for women like Sue, and I think that's because they tend to gravitate towards me for whatever reason. However, when she did what she did to TK or TJ, the African American with the long locks, even though he kind of brought that onto himself, so I really can't blame Sue specifically for him going home. However, ever since that vote, I have not been here for Sue whatsoever. So yeah, I just hate that Sue is still there. And the fact that they talked about getting her out in the most recent episode gave me a little bit of hope that she might be going home. But of course, as long as Gabe is there, I think Sue is going to be there. And I'll make a prediction right now. I do feel as though Gabe and Sue will end up in the final 3. I'm just calling it right now. However, the upside of that is if Gabe is in the final with Sue, there's no way that Sue wins. There's no way that people will give their vote to Sue over Gabe for the $1 million. So I'm at least happy about that fact. And just seeing the fact that she gets to the final 3 and doesn't get the big win, I think might be a great thing. Also, I have to say, Rome was the most annoying player of Survivor that I have ever seen. The way that he treated Soul was deplorable. It was despicable. The way that he treated him, following him around the camp, trying to make sure he wasn't looking for an idol, threatening him not to play his shot in the dark. If you do play your shot in the dark, I'm just going to use my idol or use my whatever to make sure that you go home. Like, I'm so glad that Soul lasted longer than Rome did. So I was so happy that Rome went home. I had never, ever advocated for a Black person to go home more than I did for Rome, or for anyone rather to go home more than I did for Rome. I do love Andy. I do love the fact that he is at least attempting to play a game. He is at least attempting to get his foot into things and try to make things happen. I do like Sam. I love the fact I do like underdogs, and so I love the fact that Sam is at least trying to make moves as well. I love the fact that he brought up the possibility of sending Sue home. So I love that about Sam. I cannot stand Genevieve. I hate the fact that she was riding for Rome, even though Rome was doing the most despicable things to his tribe mates. And so I hope that she goes home pretty soon. And I hope that people see her. She is the strategic player. I just don't like the fact that she was aligned with Rome. And so, I can give her her props for being a strategic player, but I just don't necessarily care for her. I just really don't care for her. But it just seems like okay, we have like I think it's 11 people that were left in the most recent episode. Why is it that these people who are the underdogs don't see that we have the numbers? Y'all can get Gabe and Sue out of here lickety split. But they're allowing Gabe and Sue to run their game and to dictate exactly what is going on with the entire game. Gabe is the king of this castle. Gabe is the king of season 47 thus far. And he's doing it in these people's faces and they're allowing him to do it. And that is so frustrating. It is Survivor is, although Survivor is one of my favorite reality competition programs of all time, probably second to RuPaul's Drag Race. RuPaul's Drag Race will always be my favorite reality competition show of all time. I'm obsessed with it. But Survivor is just so frustrating because the people who deserve to win almost never win. Q from season 46, he should have won. He should have won season 46. And I honestly don't even remember who won season 46. That's how much the winner matters because they don't deserve it. Like the winners never almost I can't say never because Yam Yam he won his season, but the winner is almost, in my opinion, never deserving. Almost never deserving. Sometimes they are deserving, but I hope that Gabe wins. I do hope that Gabe wins because he would deserve it, and he is running this thing like Boston Rob ran the season that he won. All of those people were just sheep at allowing him to run their game, and you never want to do that in Survivor, and that's probably why I would never apply to be on Survivor because I know that things will not go the way that I would want them to go, unless I am the one that is calling the shots. But the thing about calling the shots in Survivor is that you can't do it loudly. You can't do it in people's faces. You can't do it so that people know blatantly that you are doing what you are doing. You have to do it subtly. And Gabe is doing it subtly. Sue is doing it subtly. They are running things subtly. And that's how you have to do. That's why Jeremy won his season in Cambodia. Because he did it subtly. You have to do things subtly. You can't do it, just, blowing your horn and, tooting your own horn and saying, I'm running the game and you guys do what I want you to do. No, you have to come at it from a subtle viewpoint. So I hope Andy stays in. I hope Sam stays in. I want Sue gone. I want Genevieve gone. Caroline is sort of kind of a non-factor, so if she gets to the end, she ain't gonna win nothing because she hasn't done anything thus far in this season. T has is just it's so frustrating, you guys. And again, that's why I don't do an episode by episode review of Survivor because it's just frustrating for me. But I will say though that it's always amazing to see Gabe and his beautiful, gorgeous hair. I think Gabe, this really doesn't matter, but Gabe for me is easy to root for because for me he's just an attractive man and I just love to see his glorious hair. But if I had it my way, either Gabe, Andy, or Sam would win. I would, or Kyle. Gabe, Andy, Sam, or Kyle. If one of those four men win this season of Survivor, I will leave Survivor 47 a happy camper. But I just want Sue gone. I just want Genevieve gone. Those are really the only people that are left that I don't necessarily like. Although I hate the fact that Soul got voted out in the previous episode, and it was pretty much a unanimous vote for Soul to go home. Um, I didn't necessarily see Soul as a quote survivor player, someone who was actually playing the game, being strategic, and making moves. Soul wasn't necessarily making moves; he was just surviving. And to me, that's not the best way to win. And obviously, he's not going to win. But yeah, I'm rooting for Gabe. But again, I wish that he wasn't working with Sue, because Sue is just really like a non-factor, and it's Sue gives me Karen vibes for some reason. She's not really that bad, but seeing what she did to TK in the, I think it was the either the second or the third week, it really rubbed me the wrong way, and that's why I can't find myself rooting for Sue. But I do love Gabe. I do love Andy. I love Andy. I really do. I feel like I'm rooting for Andy a little bit more than I am rooting for Gabe, because he is the underdog. But I'm also rooting for Sam, and I'm also rooting for Kyle. And my perfect final three would be Gabe, Andy, and Sam. That would be my perfect final three for me. Not sure if that's exactly going to be the way that it goes. Again, I hate seeing sheep on Survivor, because the sheep or the goats, in Survivor Talk, who are the ones who just kind of lay low, Heidi, in Yam Yam season, Romeo in Mary Ann season, these people who are just kind of leeches, and they're just, here for nothing. They're just here for the experience. They're not here to actually play the game. Those people who get to the end, and it seems like there's always those goats that get to that find their way to sneak into the end of the game. And it's just, frustrating. Survivor is all not only my favorite show, but it's the most frustrating show to watch, and it makes me not want to watch it. But I still watch it to see exactly how things are going to go. So, Gabe, Sam, Andy, Kyle, you guys do your best. Even though I know that the whole season has ended already. As far as them filming it and things of that nature, but. I'm really rooting for Gabe. I'm really rooting for Andy. Really rooting for Sam. Really rooting for Kyle. Everyone else is not necessarily a factor, at least in my mind. But we'll see where things go from here. What are your thoughts on this season of Survivor? And who are your favorite Survivor winners of all time? Once again, as I said in the video a little bit earlier before, Jeremy, from season 31, Cambodia, is my favorite Survivor winner of all time. Wendell is another one of my favorite survivors. I think the way that he and Dominic pretty much ran that entire season was great. I loved Donathan in that season. I think Donathan is my favorite gay survivor player of all time. I love the fact that he teamed up with Laurel at the beginning of their season. I think it was season 36. Season 36. I love the fact that they came together and teamed up with Wendell and Donovan. So yeah, those are my thoughts on season 47 so far. Go Gabe, go Sam, go Andy, go Kyle. The rest of them, it is what it is. They fall where they may. But those are the most deserving winners, in my opinion, of season 47. Again, tell me your thoughts on this season of Survivor, season 47. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click that thumbs up button, press the notification bell, and share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody out here know that JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. Thank you guys for joining me for this video. See you on the next one, guys. Love you guys for watching.